What is going on YouTube? Happy Friday and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here and tuning in. Today we have to talk about this lovely young lady who is saying that black men are strategically dating non-black women and white women after black men put the black woman down, after the black woman has given everything to a black man for free, helping them, supporting them, putting them on a pedestal, treating them as kings. Now we're going to have to dive a little further into this topic, and the reason why I want to cover this video is because the claim that she is making that black men are strategically dating non-black women, which I find absolutely ridiculous. Now if there's a man out there who's strategically dating any woman, no matter what color her skin is, to me is not a man. If you are really searching for a woman so you could only gain personal benefits from her existence, then that's no good. Now, if you're in a relationship and both of you are gaining benefits from one another, fine. But I think we all know that these modern Western women are the ones who are strategically looking for a man that they fund their lifestyle, pay their bills, and become a stepdad to their fatherless children. And all these modern Western women really want to do is exist. All right, I have said enough. Let's dive right into the video.
So one of the things that I have often wondered about is, why is it that black men who only strategically date non-black women, white women, etc., that they're always in black women's spaces with these non-black women, or they're always looking for black women? Prime example is when you're at the store and you're minding your business as a black woman, and there's a black man with his non-black woman, and he's just staring you down. And I realize that the reason why they do this, but not limited to this particular reason, is the same reason why white people are always worried about what black people are doing. And the reason why is because when you have privileges, whether it's male privilege, whether it's privilege because of your skin tone, it just seems like they don't feel that privilege or are able to conceptualize that privilege unless they are in proximity to somebody who they would consider lower on the spectrum than them.
It is absolutely fascinating how creative some black women become with their excuses concerning black men dating non-black women. First, it's because they don't like black women. Then it's because they don't know how to handle a black woman. Now it's because they are strategically dating non-black women. I mean, what is next, to be honest with you? And then she is referring to black men taking their non-black women to spaces where only black women. And then she refers to stores. Stores are public places. Anybody can access them. Anybody can go there. I do not believe that any black man who is married to a Filipina, a Russian woman, a Turkish woman, German woman, whatsoever, is purposely taking their wives to a place where there are only black women so that men can stare the black women down. That's not even what men do. Honestly, and speaking from experience, being in America with my husband, walking into stores, any store, where there would be some black women, they would stare at us. They would stare at my husband. And I am not saying that because I'm feeling some type of way about it. I just want to make it very clear that some claims that these women are saying, they're just not true. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel long enough, you would know that I even have a video about this specific topic. And if you have not seen that video yet, in that video I was talking about how my husband and I walked inside of a store. My husband was walking in front of me, I was in the back of him, and I overheard one of the ladies that was standing behind the counter making sandwiches saying, "Him walking in here with this white woman makes my blood boil." And we get that a lot. My husband gets stares a lot. They're staring at his wedding ring. They're staring at my hair. So let's let her continue.
I don't believe that for a lot of black men, being with non-black women or a white woman has garnered them the attention in whatever environments that they felt like they would get it from. And they feel like the only place that they can get that attention is obviously if they are in proximity to black women. So I want to be clear on this next point. Just to be clear, I am not saying that a YT woman, if she has biracial children, or if a non-black woman who has children with a black man, I'm not saying that they can't move on and get another man of their own racial group. I'm not saying that. But what I do acknowledge is that from what I understand is that there is a stigma for these women, especially white women, when they deal with black men or if they have slept with a lot of black men, where I guess that does affect their dating life in the future if they
Sorry, guys.
have messed with a lot of black dudes or slept with a lot of black dudes.
I'm so sorry about me sneezing. I'm not quite sure if I understood her message right at the end of the video, but if she is referring to non-black women who have been messing with a lot of black dudes and have had children by them, that they're going to have less chances on the dating market. And I feel as though if that's what she was trying to say, then she is somewhat trying to put the black man down, in my humble opinion. And I'm going to have to say this much to it. Any woman who's messing with a lot of men, who's been having children with different men, has problems in the near future when she is dating. Why would I say that? We already know, and this is not me trying to talk a certain way about single mothers. I respect single mothers because I know it's a job. But any man will prefer a woman who has no children compared to a woman who has children. Because now he's going to have to divide the time that the woman has available, which is only a little bit to begin with the kids that she has. Now, every time the man and the woman is trying to go out, somebody's going to have to watch the kids. There can be some spontaneous thing that are going on, so the woman has to go home. There can be no spontaneous trips that these two can take. You know, I can just go on like this, but if this is what she was referring to, no, sweetheart. This does not only go for non-black women who are dating a lot of black men. This can be said about any woman who is dating multiple men and is having children with men just irresponsibly.
And at the end of the day, that just speaks to the fact that with your blackness as a black man, it doesn't garner these women any sort of, I guess, badge of honor or any sort of higher rank in their communities for being with a black person. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these other communities are very discriminatory and racist towards us black people. So getting with a black person for a lot of these communities is seen as a stain.
I don't think it's right to reduce somebody on their skin color. So really saying that a man's blackness is really no good to a woman if she's dealing with too many black men at the same time, or just dealing with too many black men, is just an odd statement if you ask me, to be honest with you. But I am going to say this. She said that for a lot of communities, for non-black communities, bringing a black man into their communities is a stain. I'm not going to call it a stain. It can come with some challenges, though. It is true, because my Turkish family had no problems with my husband. I am so thankful for my parents, even though they're traditional. My parents said, as long as he makes you happy, takes care of you, and is there for you, and this is the man that you want to be with, we are good with him. And they welcomed my husband with open arms still up until today. But there are still some people in my environment, I'm not talking about family or friends, I'm talking about people at maybe Turkish stores who are giving us a side eye because they simply do not like the combination, and we are not the only couple. So I do agree with her statement saying that some people may not feel too happy about you two being together. That is true. I cannot take that away from her. She made a very true statement there. Still, it's not a stain like that. And at the end of the day, love is love. You're going to fall in love with whoever you love, whoever you are comfortable with, whoever you vibe with, you're going to build your legacy with. But at the end of the day, it does not matter what other people think about your relationship, because you are with that person. And you should be courageous enough to deal with any consequences that comes with that. And when I'm saying that, I'm talking about stares, doesn't matter. People talk about you, let them talk. Because you are with that person for that person. You are not going to be with nobody because the other people are giving you an approval to be with that person. No. You two love each other, you're going to be together. Screw what everybody else is saying.
If that makes sense. And a lot of women in general are pick-me's, so they feel they're getting a one-up on an entire group of women by taking their men. They're getting male attention and male validation, and black men have historically propped up other races and groups of women, particularly white women. So obviously, black men are not going to leave black women alone because, one, in order for them to exercise any sort of perceived power, it has to be an environment within the black community where there is a vast majority of black women. Because what I have noticed is, even if a black man is with a non-black woman, black women are so desperate for a black man to speak up for them or do anything or give them any sort of validation that they do not do their due diligence on who they prop up as a black man. They don't check to see if he's married to a black woman. They don't check to see if he's taking care of his black kids. If he has any kids, they don't check to see his resume or his career history or anything. It just seems like black women, if a black man says things that we like, we just prop them up and we don't have any other expectations out of them.
I would like to get into that term pick me real quick. Pick me specifically is a woman who is doing anything in her power that she can to get male attention and validation. You agreed with me? Okay. Now, if we take a closer look on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, how do a lot of modern Western women show themselves? Barely dressed, posing in a certain way, doing certain things, saying certain things, because they are the pick-me's. And if you have women like myself who are trying to teach other women on how they should rather behave if they want to have a successful relationship, or what they should rather not do, or if we're telling men, hey, you should have more self-respect, make sure you communicate your boundaries, make sure you take your passport and you travel to another country if you do not like how other women are treating you in your environment, that's us giving advice, guidance, being a role model. That is not pick-me energy. If you have a woman who knows how to carry herself, who is well-spoken, who knows how to dress properly, who is getting male attention on a different level because she is in her feminine energy, that is not pick-me energy, sweetheart. That is how a woman should carry herself to begin with. And men are going to feel drawn to that type of woman automatically on a different level compared to women who are barely dressed on social media. That's for one. Two, she said that black women are so desperate for black men treating them right. Well, then I can only give you some advice, if you would allow me to. Be a little bit more kind to black men. If you really want more certain energy from black men, black women, or some black women, of course not all, are gonna have to behave differently. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. This is very honestly from me coming to you. If some black women would know how to act right, would know how to talk to a black man, would know how to carry themselves without an attitude and all of these things, other women of other races and nations, they wouldn't stand a chance. They would not stand a chance because we all know that the black man would always want to go with the black woman first. But some of them are just done trying. Some of them are tired of trying because they just get attitude. Again, I'm not talking about all of them, but some of them. Unfortunately, a good majority of them. Because unfortunately, nobody has told women how to behave towards men, and barely any men, since there was no authoritative figures in the household, were able to tell men what they should accept from a woman and what they should not accept from a woman. I hope I didn't say anything over here that I'm not supposed to say, but that's just honestly how I feel.
And they know that if they want to gain any sort of monetary traction or make money off of anybody, it's best to do it with black women. And use words like, I forget what the phrase is called, but saying, oh, black own this and black that and black empowerment that, while at the same time they are sleeping with white women, they are sleeping with non-black women, and they are funneling their money to feed their lustful habits, all while not contributing back and benefiting black women. And, I've seen this with Isaac Hayes. I've seen this with Umar Johnson. Like, I get a lot of y'all like what they might be doing. I get that y'all might like what they say. But any black man who preaches black empowerment, and he is in this system where marriage is extremely important, if he's not married to a black woman, if he's not taking care of his black kids, you can't really take them seriously. And it just really speaks to, if that's the low expectations that you have as a black woman for a black man, then I could definitely see why a lot of us black women end up in the situations that we end up with black men.
I understand where she's coming from when she is talking about Dr. Umar Johnson, for example, and says, I don't understand how these men are preaching certain things when they are not even married to black women. I believe that's what she was trying to say in this part. But I would have to say this. If the black community, and this is my humble opinion, again, was really so convinced by what Dr. Umar Johnson is preaching and saying, why are they not helping building and finishing his school? I know he has been trying so hard to finish that school, to get educators in there, to start teaching children things that they need to know so they can be pulled away from the educational system that they are thrown in right now. that's a whole different topic. I don't really want to open up a whole can of worms here, but where is the support? Where is the support? And why does she have to blame the black man? Am I the only one who thinks that she's trying to blame the black men for black women ending up in situations with black men that they end up in? I don't think it's right for somebody just to sit there and blame somebody else without even sitting down trying to think about what their part of the problem may be. That's just me. If we're addressing a problem, we have to look at it from all angles and perspectives and be grown enough to admit our flaws. Be grown enough to say, I need to do better. Be grown and transparent enough to admit that I was wrong. I am sorry. I apologize. I will do better next time. That is something that a lot of people need to understand and really need to practice, but there's something in their way, which is their ego. Okay? That's enough of that. So I don't know what you think about this video, guys. I'm just making these type of videos because I see the response in the videos that I'm putting out on YouTube, and I feel as though that you really like talking about this topic. Let me know in the comment section if you agree with me or if you feel like this young lady had a couple of good points that she made in her video. I would love to know your opinion. Of course, do not forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you didn't do that yet. And there's another button that you can press. It is called the hype button. It's right next to the comment button, and it helps the content creator to reach more people and for us as a community to spread our message. Okay, thank you all so much for tuning in, for watching. Today is Friday. I hope you all are going to have a wonderful weekend so you can recharge and just enjoy being away from work. I'm just kidding. We all got to pay our bills, right? Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as I always say, stay alert so you can stay alive.